Welcome to Office Hours. I am Steve Drost. With me, as always, we've got Will Kaplan. Of course, both Will and I come from the Quivr CRM team, which is the first CRM built by financial advisors and for financial advisors. Our objective at Quivr is simple. How can we help you run your business at peak efficiency? Now, each episode, we tackle a couple of cool items that came directly from Quivr users who are trying to do just that, make their lives a little easier. Will, have you ever read the book Getting Naked? You've ever heard of it?
I've heard of it, but I haven't read that one yet.
So it's a book where the whole point is you essentially you're just open, honest, vulnerable, and completely transparent. And ultimately, it should get you to a good outcome. And I'm about to get a little vulnerable and open here because over and over and over again in demos and in office hours, delegation and training is a huge topic. And we have a very specific box in Quivr, a field inside of Quivr that had a huge impact on my firm. The story I'm about to tell is true. So I launched my firm, I don't know, back in 2021-ish, March, somewhere in that range. And my mom came to work with me in November of that year. And about May, April of the following year, so she'd been working with me for 5, 6, maybe 7 months. I'm talking to my wife and I'm like, I don't get it. Like, it's not clicking. Am I going to have to fire my mother? And Marissa, my wife, she goes, I don't know, but I don't know how this is going to go. Like you got to figure this out. Like, this isn't a me problem. I'm not getting involved. I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. I have to figure this out. And I was actually venting about it during an office hours. I'm like, yeah, like it's just not clicking. She's asking the same questions over and over again. And to keep the book theme here, Extreme Ownership, Jocko Willink. I don't know if you've read that book, but the whole premise of that book in Extreme Ownership is if something isn't going how you want it to go, it's your fault. So if we bring it to this situation, it's either a person fault, which I made the hiring decision, so it's my fault, or it's a process issue, which means I didn't communicate the process well enough to the person that I'm trying to do something. So regardless there, I either hired the wrong person or I'm not effectively communicating, and therefore the issue, the stress, it's all my fault. And I'm a psycho. I actually love that. So I was venting about this in office hours and the person goes, oh, you know the task steps box inside of workflows? I'm like, yeah. They go, how are you using that? I'm like, I'm not really using it. Like this user was actually the person that wanted that box. I'm like, I don't know. Like you tell me. And they showed me what they did. And I scheduled a Zoom with my mom the next day. And I said, Mom, we're going to change how we're doing everything. The issue that we had was the learning management system, our standard operating procedures, our standard operating guidelines, the how things get done were stored in Word documents, Excel spreadsheets, videos. They were all over the place. And if I looked at the things that my mom did, I mean, she's a CSA hybrid paraplanner. She does everything. She's awesome. But she had 150 different things that she did, and the notes on how to do things were all over the place. Once I took the advice of this individual, and I'll share our best practice here, I ain't going anywhere until she retires. And the irony in all of this, or not irony, but the other side of this is, turns out she was having the exact same conversations with my dad, and she was wondering, how am I going to tell my son that I'm quitting?
Right.
So 5 to 6 months in, Mom and I both knew the relationship wasn't working well. One user at office hours changed the direction of everything that I was doing. So Will, I've talked a lot. Do you want to talk about what this task steps box is?
Yeah. So, I mean, you kind of alluded to it where what we're trying to accomplish here is the combination of that learning management tool, that training tool, and the process tool, the project management tool, and putting them together, unifying them so that when you get to a step, and, this could be something as simple as like just a one-off, I've got this one little task and I just need a reminder of how to do it. Or this could be something like where it's, a huge workflow with, 10 different tasks, 15 different tasks, and each one documents the step of, okay, I'm here. How do I do this particular thing at this moment? And I think what's so powerful about it is your training process can become the actual work itself because you've got all of the material there. Like you can, go through it ahead of time. Great. Have an overview understanding. But then anytime you get lost, all of the information you need is right there with you. And you mentioned it here a minute ago. We do have kind of a best practice, how to build these things out, what to include. You'll find that information in the community, our support center. But essentially what it is make a video, create some written steps, create a frequently asked question. And that's going to be iterative, obviously. Like you're going to get questions, you're going to want to add them back into the system. And then still can't figure this out. Who do I talk to? Do I take it to Steve? Do I take it to Will? Do I take it to development? Like, where do I go with this problem? Does it go to my COO, my CEO, my CIO? I don't know who I'm supposed to talk to, but now you do because the information's right there. So you can kind of, hey, I've got what I think is an outlier. Here's why. Send that email out, response comes back, great. Now maybe that's a frequently asked question edition, but it unifies these two sort of separate things in most practices, which is like, here's my process manual and here's the actual workflow. Now we've got it all together. And there's just so much power there.
I mean, the couple of things I can think of right off the bat that it helps with is hiring new employees. Imagine you kick off an account application workflow for a new CSA that you just hired. You shouldn't have to sit next to them while they do it, because every single thing that they need to do, and I'll show you, like, let's just share our screen here, Will. Everything that they need to do just automatically pops up on their screen, and they have videos and they have notes, and they just have everything that they need. So, Will, can you see my screen? Looks like you can. And for those of you watching,
we're on the homepage. Yeah,
Yep.
just the daily docket.
So let's assume, right, you have a client birthday is upcoming, and this is an automated process. So Quivr's scanning the system, looking for people's birthdays that are coming up. And this task hits a CSA's box who's never sent a birthday card to a client before. They don't know what to do. Well, they click on the task opens up, and right here, this is what Will was describing. Here are the steps. Here's a link to a Loom video of your lead CSA or your operations manager recording a video telling you it is Jim's birthday or it is somebody's birthday. This is what we're trying to do. This is how we're trying to do it. This is what we ultimately need our outcome to be. And they tell you, grab the card from this drawer in the supply room. Then you give written instructions, because what we found is the first few times somebody does it, they might watch the video, but the next couple of times they might not need to. So they just want to say, wait, what do I do again? Oh yeah, I mail it 3 days before their birthday. That's when they want this to go out. So the written instructions is just a summation of the video. You then give yourself a frequently asked questions spot, because, for example, clients or teammates are going to have questions. And I tell my mom, like, you can ask me any question you want. I do not want the same question twice, though. So the first time she asked me, Steve, the birthday gift field is blank. You never filled that out, which we then, of course, updated our onboarding process. That's now a required field. But I told her, if that's ever blank, you have permission to call me, because I am the one that messed up there. So she wrote that there. If this isn't there, call Steve. But because we made that a required field, it will never be missing again. And then lastly, like, I watched the video, I read the instructions, I have my questions here. I have a question. Schwab changed their website. I don't know what to push. Something is different. Who do I go to? Well, you go to the primary advisor for the household, because they're going to dictate what happens. They're the relationship manager. If we look at this right now, the birthday card test template or workflow step, my mom is never going to watch that video because she sends 100 and some birthday cards every year. She's doing it all the time. But true story, back in February when I was sending my ADV, I don't remember how to send my ADV. I was watching a video that I recorded from 3 years ago on my other screen right over there. So past Steve was telling present Steve how to do that, right? So we're giving the exact information that somebody needs in front of the exact person that needs the information at the exact right time. And it works. I mean, Will, too, we use Quivr to run Quivr, right? This is working to run not only is this working to run financial planning firms, but it's working to run fintech, right? It's just putting the information in front of the person when they need it. And it works. It's so simple and it works.
Yeah, I think that's what's great about it, is that it's most places have, we do seeing firms in demos and seeing firms that are sort of entering into the system, they have a lot of this information, but they don't have it readily available, or it hasn't been updated, or it's not quite what it needs to be to really be effective. And I find that, one of the things that we've sort of discovered too is that a lot of times people are like, I don't have time to build all this stuff. Well, the good news is, like, you really want the person that's doing it. So, like, having the CSA be the one to build out the video, that shows that they have the understanding, and then they're going to be the ones that are actually showing, like, oh, here's the rough spots. Like, I remember one of the big firms that I worked at, we had this issue where move money was never right. It was always wrong because the advisors weren't paying close enough attention. And then you move to a system like this where it's like, no, here's the steps. This is the data that I need in order to move this particular task forward. Now I can refer back and say, like, well, you're not, here's the list. This is what I'm supposed to have in this thing. And it solves a lot of different problems at firms. It's a phenomenal little tweak.
Yeah. And also I would be foolish to not comment, like, this was not my idea. This was not my idea. It wasn't. I mean, like, that's a wrap on today, but for real, like, if you're a Quivr user, if you're having issues, come to office hours on Wednesdays. Share the things you're doing great. Share the things you're not doing great. Because had I not vented about this topic during an office hours a couple of years ago, I don't know where my firm would be today. But instead, the right person was in office hours and was able to help me. And right, rising tide raises all ships. And it was awesome. It was really cool. So if you are a Quivr user, remember, get to office hours where we can help you with similar items like this. If you're not a Quivr user, that's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. None of us are perfect. But remember, it's not too late. Schedule a demo, come hang out with me and Will, and see what Quivr can do for you.